Hey man, I'm Chris with Phone Cats, and here is a fun deck build to try for Magic the Gathering Duels of the Planeswalker 2014. A Johnny, Guardians of Light. That's the full title. Okay, I'm playing with all 4 core Spirit Dancers, and I guess we'll talk about each card. Must play. Just trust me and humor me and play this deck build. Put 23 lands, 4 Spirit Dancers. They're essential. This deck can hang with the big 3 sometimes. You'll still lose to their god draws and it's frustrating, but this is one of the most fun builds that I've played yet. You got 2 of those blade things, they're alright. 2 Daybreak Coronets. Daybreak Coronet is like a stage of the game. Or just a Spirit Mantle. Like, at one point you're just going to have like a mini lock on the game to where you have something that'll slow their momentum. Could be Divine Favor, that's good for card draw. I think about pulling those sometimes, but I'm feeling this build right now. 4 Pacifisms, 2 Nomad Mythmakers, Graveyard Recursion, oh my god, Pariah, oh my god. 2 Mesa Enchantresses. With 2 of these and 4 of these, you're going to be doing card draw, and it gets excessive. This entire deck is just like about slowing them down, hitting locks, and then eventually winning through token generation. I'm going to go through some of the cards that I don't have, and it makes this build look so passive. And it really is, dude. I don't know. I play it like Talrand, kind of 2013, and I really like it. But let's keep sprinting through. You got 1 Pariah. There's like 6 different ways to grab Pariah, and a lot of the games you're just going to be going to grab Pariah, and it's just a temporary lock. And then you either win through token generation, which is rare, or just swinging in with a creature that has protection from creatures. Unquestioned Authority, 3 mana, draw a card, enchanting creature gets protection from creatures. There's been times when I've grabbed that with a tutor, just because I knew that my opponent had some kind of removal, and I was like, well, if he's going to remove this, it might as well be something that I draw a card off of. It was probably a misplay, but whatever. Speaking of misplays, don't be afraid to like try this build of the deck, and don't be afraid to try weird builds. Like, man, this deck is so much fun to stop them with, and it's going to get improved on. Like, this wasn't the build that I was playing with yesterday, and it probably won't be the build that I'm playing tomorrow, but try it, feel it out, and then branch off from here, because it's a really good control build in this meta. And I don't know, man, like, if you're tired of losing to the big 3, getting something with protection from creatures on the board, having pacifisms, getting something big with lifelink really quick, and with a lot of these weenies, hopefully you can pull some of their removal by the time you get to something good. This deck just works. It's weird. I'm going to do some gameplay vids of it. Where was I? Ah, yes, giving your stuff protection from creatures is dope. Idyllic Tutor. Tutor for whatever you need. Sometimes it's going to be a Daybreak Coronet if you just want to, like, switch the momentum back. Dude, as soon as you hit a Daybreak Coronet, it has the same momentum swing, like, as if you played the Palaka Worm. Like, you're gonna gain a lot of life, and when on your opponent's turn you have a huge new threat, and if they attack you're gonna gain a lot of life. And much like Palaka Worm, you're drawing cards off of it, hopefully, if you got a couple things already in play. And then with those Nomad Mythmakers, you got Recursion. Turn 4, you got some saucy stuff. You have a Dawn Elemental that is really good against the red deck. Where are we? There we go. You have an Ajani's Chosen. That's one of your ways to win, kind of. I might pull this out for something else. Who knows? Maybe this should be a lifelink, and that would just speed up the tempo, but I already have a lot of tempo. I just need more win cons, and I guess it's a defensive thing, too. Seraph of the Sword, you get 2 of these. Really cool. It's like a worse Dawn Elemental that I'll still play with. Prevent all combat damage. So any deck that relies on creatures is going to have problems with this, protection from creatures. Dawn Elemental, no damage. Unquestioned Authority, no combat damage. Spirit Mantle, creatures take no combat damage. Daybreak Coronet, lifelink. You attack, you gain life. It has Vigilance, so it doesn't tap when it attacks. It even does First Strike. Jesus Christ, it's so insane. So giving this First Strike is insane. And it already has to have another enchantment on it for it to work. So either you have a 4/4 due to the other thing, a Divine Favor, and then it's a 7/7, or it has protection from creatures, and then it's a 4/2, 6/4. Is that right? I think. Or it already had lifelink. Gah. Playing lifelink, or playing an Ajani Sunstriker and then this on it is such a defensive move. Some decks are going to have a real problem with a 3-5 lifelink on your side of the field, especially with you pacifying like their random dudes. Okay, I got an indestructibility. It's like a weird game over for some decks. Some decks can't even deal with you casting Pariah on this. Red deck can't deal with you casting Pariah on that. So many decks just can't deal with Pariah on this. And that's like easy to get. You got so much delay, and then you got so much enchantment grab. Turn 5, told him on the Guide to the Heart Beast, 5 mana for a 2/5. It's a nice blocker, and then you grab any enchantment. I believe I've grabbed any enchantment, including things that don't say aura, like this. Sigil of the Empty Throne. This just says enchantment, but I'm pretty sure I've grabbed it before, and I don't know if that's a weird word limbo thing, or maybe I am confused and used a different card to tutor, but I think that works. But yeah, sometimes you might want to grab that. If you already have a lot going, and you just want to start going into token generation. I feel like I could take out a couple different cards, and then put in some other things, but dude, try this build, it's really cool. Sigil of the Empty Throne, token generation, 4/4 Flying Angels, super strong. 3 Dreams, 5 mana, grab 3 auras. Normally this is it. Like, if you hit this and you already have a lock of some sort, you're just going to give something you have protection from creatures, a Daybreak Coronet, and then like maybe something else. But sometimes you're going to go for your Pariah lock out the gate. And if you play this late game, if you're doing a late game and you top deck this, sometimes you can 3 Dreams and then play all 3 cards, and it's just ridiculous. But that's it. I'm going to keep this deck list vid short. Just humor me, trust me, this is fun to play in this meta. You're going to be going up against, I don't know, just in this meta, try it. And I don't know, you're probably going to be like, you're probably going to get to a point where you're like, oh, Jesus. And I'm going to like laugh, or somehow like, if you get to that point where you don't think you're gonna win and then you somehow pull out a victory, like, let me know, because this deck is surprising. Just because we'll go through the cards that I'm not playing with and talk about just really quick. Lifelink, maybe. Another Blade of the Sixth Pride, maybe. Skyhunter Skirmisher, no, that's like the aggro version. Auramancer, I don't think so. It's cool that it comes back to your hand so that you can draw cards off of it, but it's not locky. It's just like recovery. Get out of here, I think. I don't know, would gaining all that life be cool? I already have enough lifelink. Griffin Guide, I don't know, maybe. It's like delay to where when the creature dies, you get a Griffin. But that's only if you're playing combat build decks. Because if they unsummon it, or do other weird things to it, like exile it, then I don't think you get your Griffin. I'm not playing with it right now. It's like cool for the aggro build. Oh man, I played a mirror match where the guy had Aura of Silence and it was a problem. But I'm not playing with it. Mirror matches are rare. And then hopefully they're playing the aggro build, which I beat one time. So now I think I have like a 100% win rate on, which I technically do. Damn. No Sarah's Boons. Looks cool, kind of control-y and kind of card draw-y, but weird. It's uncommon, which makes me kind of like it, which I shouldn't. Guardians of the Mark Mage, Flash, which makes me like it, but I shouldn't. Healer of the Pride, gain life, you're weird. Season's Marshal, tap creatures out, weird, maybe for like sealed. Angelic Destiny, might consider playing with one of these. It's kind of cool that it bounces back. Or one Armored Ascension, and then in these late game builds, just throwing this on my creature that has protection from creatures. That seems like a fun win con. I could talk myself into doing that. Retether's cool for long games, but I don't know. I pulled it. These are a problem, like for a lot of decks, but I can't convince myself to play with them. Evangelize seems cool. I want to build like a weird control-y, control-y build with Evangelize and all these other cards that take their creatures away. Purity. Or Touch Mage is kind of neat. If you are hurting and you just need to throw a Pariah on it, you can last another turn. But that seems to be about it that I could think of. I mean, you could make a huge flying first striker. That's strong. You can make something with protection from creatures. That's strong. Let's go all through all the auras. You can make it indestructible, which seems bad. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't know. Celestial Mantle's kind of crazy. I'm not playing with it. It seems like a win more. Could be cool to grab with some random stuff though. True Conviction. It's like they want you to have a huge creature build of this deck. Because some of the things are about weird concepts. Like this. Gain life whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control. That's so weird to me. And then this, all your dudes getting first strike and double strike. And I'm not playing with Final Judgment either. I ain't trying to exile all creatures. Maybe there's a better version of this that I would play, where I would play with that. It would be slightly more competitive, but try this build, it's fun. I want to just look at all the creatures that I'm not playing with, just to see like what version of this deck are you just dropping creatures every turn. So that's 5 creatures right there that I could put in. Griffin Guide could count as a 2/2. The Healer of the Pride, those. Dawnstrike Paladins. And then for a game-winning turn 6 True Conviction. That'll be my next build, just that'll be my next build. Just all creatures and then True Conviction and see if that's actually a way to win. That's it for this bid. My camcorder's about to die. Thanks for watching. Try this build. Fun cats.